Everyone says that discipline is pushing harder, but what if that's wrong? If discipline feels painful, it's not because you're lazy. It's because your brain associates it with resistance. The trick isn't to make yourself do hard things, it's to make them feel easy. Today in this video, we're gonna be talking about discipline and resistance and how to overcome it to lead to your best life. The real problem is actually the resistance. Typically, motivation fades away. It's just a catalyst to get you going, but it's not gonna drive you to reach your goals when that discipline gives out. What you really need is structure in your life. The minute anything that you do or want to do feels like a chore, that's where motivation falls apart. For example, you don't actually hate the gym. You hate that resistance of where you are at the gym physically in your training and where you see yourself and where you want to be. In between there is a resistance, and that's what's causing you to lack the motivation to get to that end goal. To overcome this, there's a few steps you can apply. We're gonna call step one the breadcrumb method. We're gonna start so small that you just cannot fail. When I started changing my personal life and working out, all I did every morning was get up and go walk for 30 minutes. This was something that was completely doable in my mind, and I felt very little resistance to doing it. After I got accustomed to that and made it a routine, I was able to add in element by element a weightlifting routine where I'm now, almost a year later, finally starting to see those results. The big thing with this is you have to be patient. As time passes and you slowly add on new steps to your routine, it won't feel like you're adding more than you can take on. Therefore, the resistance goes away and you're way more likely to be able to continue doing that every single day or however often you have scheduled. When you become more focused on the outcome versus daily habits, that's when your motivation will just go away because it takes time and patience to get to that goal. Your priority should never be with the end in sight. It should always be what you're focusing on now and how it feels in that moment. If you fail, it's not a big deal. You can just start over. Discipline is showing up every single day, no matter how it felt yesterday or how you feel about it today. Step two is to make your progress visible. In anything you do, if you track what you're doing, you will start to see the progress towards it. For example, I am in the process of paying down large amounts of debt, not only in my business, but in my personal life. And to do that, I actually use our whiteboard in my office, and we start with what that dollar amount is, and then we subtract as we make payments to it. Because we're using the snowball method, these numbers keep falling faster and faster as we accumulate more payments into one. It is actually very rewarding, and it keeps it top of mind to be able to look at the board every single day and see where we're at and keep it in reference that, hey, we need to keep focused on this goal. Same thing if you're trying to lose weight. I know people say to get off the scale, but that's the only way to measure it. Visually in the mirror, you could be bloated one day and feel like you haven't made any gains at all, but if you're constantly weighing yourself at the same time every day, I prefer to do it right away in the morning after using the restroom. Track those numbers daily and they'll move a little bit, but over time you will see them go in the right direction if you're doing what you're supposed to. By keeping track of all this and the proof, it rewards your brain and tells you that you are actually doing something positive, and it reinforces that discipline. Remember, you cannot improve what you don't measure. Step three, reward your effort, not your outcomes. If you put a reward on a large outcome, say you want to lose 20 pounds and you're not gonna reward yourself till you get to that 20-pound mark, you're gonna start having more and more anxiety about getting to that mark. But if you can say, I'm going to go to the gym 4 days every single week for 2 weeks, after that 2 weeks, you give yourself a little reward, whether it be a coffee or going out to a movie or whatever it might be that gives you a little oomph, that is going to, in the long run, really help you way more than if you're trying to wait till you reach that 20 pounds lost. It will almost seem daunting to get there. And by doing this, you're rewarding yourself for showing up and creating the habit, which instills the discipline. Over time, your brain will start seeing all of this as the reward versus a punishment. Step number 4, shrink the start. What I mean by that is the hardest part of doing anything is just starting. Most people want to say, I'll start on Monday, I'll start after the new year. There is honestly no better time than to start right now. By shrinking the start, you make it more simple and rewarding for yourself to actually get it going. For example, if you're trying to go to the gym, set your schedule and tell yourself, I'm just going to go for 5 minutes. Once you've taken the time to get there and you're in there, you're gonna go ahead and stay and get through the whole workout. Same thing if you're trying to write a paper, start a business, just tell yourself, I'm going to work on this project for 5 minutes, and watch as the time flies by once you get into it and don't want to stop. The momentum of what you're doing will actually take over and it will create the discipline for you. Step 5, add joy. If you add something you enjoy to something you're trying to grow discipline in, it will actually make it more pleasurable for you, such as listening to your favorite music while you work out, or enjoying your favorite drink while you're sitting at the computer working. The more your senses feel enjoyment, the easier it will be for you to stick with that disciplined chore. Step 6 is have an emotional why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to reach this goal? Logical goals don't always stick, but emotional ones will. Whether you're doing it for peace, confidence, self-respect, have a goal in mind of why you are doing what you're doing. Having this purpose will actually make the discipline automatic. To recap, having discipline becomes easy when you remove all of the resistance. Start small, make it visible, celebrate your effort, and tie it to joy. Comment down below one habit that will make it easier for you today. You guys have got this. I believe in you. Discipline can feel so good when implemented correctly.